Hey everybody, today we're talking Green Arrow, Black Canary, till death do us part. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're talking about Green Arrow, Black Canary, till death do us part. This is a recent trade paperback collecting the last chunk of Judd Winick's long Green Arrow run. It collects 1 through 14 of the Green Arrow Black Canary series, as well as the wedding special. So, what is this, Brent? I have not seen this in a long time. Yes, you have not. This is a post 1 year later series. This is after Infinite Crisis. It's over 10 years old. This was probably 2008, 2009, something like that. So Judd Winick had been the writer of Green Arrow following Kevin Smith relaunching it, and then Brad Meltzer doing a short little run on there, a storyline, and then Judd Winick took over. He had jumped off of the Green Lantern series with Kyle Rayner, and he had jumped over to Ollie here. So this is the last chunk. He wrote that from, I guess it was like maybe 15 or 16 all the way through 75, and in issue 75 of that run, Ollie proposed to Dinah. So this starts off with the wedding special where all the superheroes get together for Green Arrow and Black Canary's wedding. It's a beautiful issue done by Amanda Connor. As you would expect, everybody in costume, things tend to go to shit. There's a giant superhero fight, and then Ollie is presumed missing after he does something weird with Dinah, and it's very strange, and you're like, wait, what? So then you move on to the regular series, which has Cliff Chiang on art for the first half of this series, and then you move over to Mike Norton on the second half, and he's a very strong artist as well. I think even though their styles are different, you know, in terms of how they draw different things, like they flow well, they flow together very, very well. Just in terms of how they're colored and stuff is a little bit different. Maybe the backgrounds are a little more or less detailed, things like that. But the feel of the series remains the same. And I think moving from Cliff Chiang onto Mike Norton is a very strong choice in terms of a replacement artist with the same writer, right? So I think that works for this book. This book reminded me how adult things were over 10 years ago in mainstream superhero comics. You have characters getting hurt, maimed. You have characters in actual adult relationships. They're trying to have sex. They talk about sex. They talk about HIV, and it's very like, because I'm talking about HIV because Mia is in here. You know, Mia Queen. She is a character introduced in Winick's run that has HIV because of her past history of being, I think she was trafficked or something like that. But she was not a very, didn't have a happy childhood. But anyway, whether she was promiscuous or not, she's here and she's talking to another character that we meet, and a new character, this guy over here. I want to say it's Boomer. But anyway, he's got like a Thor's kind of hammer or anything. But anyway, she's being the same character she has been in most of Winick's run. And this kind of stuff, like that general idea of adult situations, adult themes, it's not to say it's a mature reader's book, it's just more mature than what is out there right now on the stands. This is something that I feel like is missing from modern comics, and maybe why people are saying like, maybe modern comics don't have the same edge or anything to them, because there literally was a line 10 years ago where Marvel and DC had a kids line for younger children, and this was the adult line. And you still had Max Comics out there from Marvel, and Image and stuff were still doing their adult stuff, but the main superhero stuff, that line was aimed more towards like 13, 14 and up, you know, and they were talking about real issues back in the day in ways that they seem not to do now. So this run reminded me of that, and I was like, oh man, I do miss this era of comics, because just things seem so hollow now when you read some of these newer stories. Not to say that they're bad, just they're not talking about real issues. And that's when you do that, you relate to characters more, and they makes them feel like real people as opposed to just colorful cartoon characters moving on a page, right? So anyway. The strongest part about this book is the characters, is the characterization. Ollie, Dinah, Connor Hawk, Mia, you know, Batman, the rest of the team in here. There's stuff with the Amazons, like all that characterization, all that dialogue is so much fun. That's the strongest thing going for this book. The mystery of what happened to Ollie and who was behind it and all that stuff is not the reason to come for this book. I thought it was like a lackluster mystery, but you know, I'm trying to think of Winick's runs. Like he does action, he does dialogue very, very well. Mystery, maybe not so much. So I think that is kind of where it falls apart. And there's some stuff that's kind of weird at the last couple of issues here where they try and take Connor Hawk off the board or change his status quo. And it just is like, it feels rushed a little bit because it's not even a dangling thread for the next writer who happened to turn out to be Andrew Kreisberg to pick up on. It was just something that maybe Winick wanted to do in his last 2 issues. It's very, very strange because they start it and they resolve it within like 2 or 3 issues. So it's a little weird. Overall, the book presentation, like, it's very nice. Like, this is a pretty recent trade paperback. You can find this out here. There's Ra's al Ghul. Pretty solid. $34.99, you know, not too bad. 14 issues, and I think it's a great action movie. Like it's a straight up action movie. This book, it's got a cliffhanger at the end of every issue, so you will want to keep reading. I think most of them are pretty good, but you know the overall mystery and story is kind of so-so. But come for the characters, come for the characterization. The first 8 issues of this book are really, really strong. And then once we get past that, then it's kind of like, I don't know if it's that strong. But I do still recommend it, though. I think the first half's well worth it. It's just the follow-up is not that good, story-wise. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Green Arrow, Black Canary. Let me know what you think of this book down below in the comments. We'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.